This is chains, webs, and pyramids. You need to be able to create a food web in order of trophic level, distinguish between consumers and producers, use a food chain or web to help explain how disruptions can spread throughout the ecosystem, discuss the value of the various pyramids, and use the pyramid of energy to explain and understand that energy decay is a limiting factor in all ecosystems. A food web versus a chain is very simple. Food webs start at the first trophic level, the first feeding level, with a plant, then to consumers. The first one is typically a herbivore, and all the way up to the top consumer. We label them starting at the plant. We rarely show decomposers on a food web because they eventually eat everything, so they would be connected to every animal. There's an annoying numbering system associated with these that trophic level 1 is the plants, but the first consumer is always an animal. So you have to be careful when you read the textbook. Does it say it's starting at trophic level 1 or the level of the first consumer? So the bird in here is the third trophic level, but it is the second order consumer. Tertiary is the word for 3 and quaternary for 4. The textbook uses them, I won't. A food web simply connects everything that eats everything together. So a single chain would be from corn to grasshopper to rat to python, but the fact is the grasshopper is food for two separate creatures. The eagle is pretty much the top predator in this environment, so is the python, but look at the eagle. It's got a very rich, diverse food source. So if all the grasshoppers were killed, the rat is finished. The frog might eat more butterflies, which could cause plants to disappear. So you'll be looking at these to see what happens if I killed all of the thrush, or what happens if all the mangoes disappeared, the logical chain of events that you would set off like falling dominoes. The tree of life is an important idea in this. So ultimately what a food web is showing is that life is interconnected. And we're going to look at a specific case of the wolves in Yellowstone to see how much of a connection there was between them. The difference between the tree of life in literature and the tree of life in ecology is scientists are not artistically expressing the idea, but they're trying to get to the actual nuts and bolts behind it and quantify it, meaning get numbers to it. Throughout human history, the idea of the tree of life has shown up in Norse mythology with Yggdrasil, the tree of life. It's getting more attention these days because of the Avengers and Thor. This is from Marlik, Iran, over 3,000 years ago, a tree of life carved in gold. And there's a movie called The Fountain with Hugh Jackman, done by Darren Aronofsky. It's definitely a spiritual film, but he's a doctor looking for a cure for cancer, and he's staring the cure for eternal life in the face. And there's this heavy, heavy metaphors. I give it an A for ambition and gorgeous cinematography. I like movies that try to reach really big. It's well worth seeing. If you've ever lost someone to cancer or just lost someone, you're going to cry if you see this movie. So I kind of really liked it, even though it's filled with flaws. But the tree of life theme is everywhere in this film. Natives also had the concept of this. And if you read this poem fragment, which I came across as a child and now it's become very popular, it really encapsulates the idea that we're all interconnected, though I like to use it in gravity and astronomy more than ecology. Here's an example of scientists branching out the tree of life in a virtual reality setup where you can click on this and get into everything that we now know. It's actually a lot more complicated than the Norse tree of life. Here are some modern food webs. So this is how crazy. This says a simplified food web for the Northwest Atlantic cod only. So you can imagine how crazy a real food web is. This one is a virtual reality food web, and you can wear one of these VR helmets and walk amongst the food web. So to get a complete food web, computer systems and virtual reality has become a major player in it. I'm going to pause here so I don't run out of video time, and then I will start into the pyramids next.